What's the case with Dana White and Nick Diaz? Besides Las Vegas, Nick Diaz has never overpowered it, whether it's in a cage or talking to the media, of course. However, on Wednesday, 3 days before returning to the octagon, staying more than 6 years away, Diaz talked about his grudge against mixed martial arts, questioning why he was competing with Robbie Lawler on Saturday at UFC 266. Stating about the same, he stated that all the people around him, including sponsors and of course the moneymakers, won't let him get away from the fighting. However, he wants to work out things, but the balls are just not in his court at this time. I might as well just go and take my punches. I don't want to look back and say, why did I not just do it? I don't feel great. I feel great to fight. I don't feel great about everything else. If I don't do this, I don't know how I'm going to feel about myself, he continued. Nick stated that he plans to open a gym on vacation to teach students and do things he always wished to, like traveling and holding seminars. Sadly, again, the things really did not work out for him, and he has to drop his idea, which would have surely benefited the others aspiring to be like him. Stating the reason for the flop plan is because of his partners, and it was getting difficult for Nick to deal with them. To no surprise, Nick Diaz has never held back in terms of discussing his very real complex feelings about MMA. Without a doubt, he is one of the UFC's most popular fighters, and the majority of us love him for his fight, and of course, for the kind person he is. But his feeling has changed towards the field that has gained him respect and fame. Nick has even reasoned out his feeling and did not leave his fans and followers wondering about his genuine feeling. To be precise, for more than a decade he hasn't liked fighting and his thinking hasn't changed over time. Well, that was not an overnight decision, but it is what it is. The fighter's last game was against Diaz-Anderson Silva at UFC 183 in January 2015. Whereas talking about the current scenario, the star is not likely very confident for his game against bout lawyer. The only aim he has set for himself is that he has to get in the ring and defend his opponent and come back from the game-winning name and title. However, the only thing he's worried about is that he is gonna win the match. He would come back thrashed and beaten up, meaning he has admired the fact that his opponent is strong and capable. Besides, Diaz earlier stated that he shouldn't fight Roller in the first place. However, he had already defeated Roller in 2004, and natives in Stockton, California believe that Kamaru Usman should actually be challenged for the UFC welterweight title. Well, Diaz is not wrong about the fact that he believes that he is the best fighter in the world. He has just been true of his feelings, and nothing much. I think I'll beat the shit out of Usman, Diaz stated. I'll have a better shot against Usman than I did Lawler, just because I already beat Lawler. This doesn't make sense for me to go in and fight Robbie Lawler again. I don't know why I'm doing this. This should not happen. Whoever set this thing up is an idiot. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why this happened. I should just be fighting Kamaru Usman, and that's it, he concluded. Speaking of Nick's current trouble is Diaz's participation in the fight between his brother Nate and Leon Edwards at UFC 263 in June. Precisely, Edwards won the match with a unanimous decision, but Nate almost knocked him out. Being a supportive brother, he wasn't happy about the fact that his brother was knocked out and beaten up badly. It was something new to come back 5 years away and see the game, Diaz remarked about his fight with his brother Edwards. However, Diaz did not win 3 battles before his 6-year absence. His last victory was against BJ Penn in 2011. Nevertheless, Nick continues to be the preference among MMA fans. He has won 11 straight wins at some point, is a former Strikeforce welterweight champion, and is known for his all-action positive style. Diaz is clearly doubtful of competing again, but Laura has stated that he doesn't deserve to hit Diaz's ass, and he knows that he's going to beat the shit from him. On the other hand, Nick stated that he considers he is now more deadly than his opponent 6 years ago. Of course, well, what do you guys feel about Diaz's confidence? Let us know in the comment section. Besides, Diaz feels like he has plenty of anger toward the sport for taking so much from him and not giving anything back. Adding on to that, Diaz stated he was just extremely real about his feelings. Moreover, he stated all competitors had similar doubts and anxieties, believing the same during the fighting week. But they don't air it as he does. Diaz stated that the other fighters were full of shit and must be crazy if they didn't act to be smiling through the fighting week. To be precise, Nick Diaz loves to help people, and he moreover prefers to be part of the sport. although he doesn't love what has been done to him, especially in the last 7 months and last 2 years. So yeah, I've got a shot at dragging some of this back, so I'm gonna go for it, Diaz said. I feel like that every fight. I'm kind of a dark and dim person leading up to a fight. I just despise these people who are happy to go out there, he concluded. Jumping on to Chael Sonnen, the guy always holds something about controversies and rumors. This time, the situation is much critical as he had made a big claim. He considers that it's quite apparent that former UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov could be summoned if Diaz wins an impressive victory over Robbie Lawler this weekend. Chael Sonnen has reasons for the same, stated his sources. Nick Diaz is a former UFC champion and arguably one of the greatest mixed martial arts players of all time if Khabib Nurmagomedov impressively overcomes Robbie Lawler. I'm sitting on something, partner. I've been waiting for this very moment to pull this down my sleeve, said Chael. He declared that Nick Diaz will win over Robbie Lawler, plans to call out Khabib Nurmagomedov. Chael Sonnen figured that if this were true, that time would fall as his favorite Nick Diaz moment. If he calls out Khabib and he gets a response from Khabib and he seeks Khabib's interest and not only come back at 170 pounds, that will be my favorite Nick Diaz moment. Talking of Nick Diaz, he is one of the most familiar names in the world of mixed martial arts, as discussed. It is somewhat doubtful that Khabib Nurmagomedov will withdraw or retire and fight Nick, although there is definite competition between the two. While Nick Diaz exposed Khabib's lack of finish power in the cage, Dagestan competitors also shot back the Diaz brothers. In history, Diaz's younger brother and UFC fighters Nate Diaz and Khabib Nurmagomedov also made a notable balance, and the quarter brawl at the WSOF event drew a lot of media recognition. Khabib Nurmagomedov and Nate Diaz were once to fight each other. However, the match did not see the light of day. Again, it is doubtful that Khabib Nurmagomedov will be resurrected, but it's no overstatement to assume that even the moment Nick Diaz calls for Khabib Nurmagomedov is symbolic. This wasn't really expected of Conor McGregor, or was it already? Starting with the facts, Irish mixed martial artist recently appeared in U.S. sporting events. To be precise, he was in the Chargers-Cowboys match on Sunday. And on Tuesday, the Cubs decided to welcome the UFC star to Wrigley Field and throw the opening ceremony. But guess what? It was a flop. Well, Conor McGregor's attempt to pitch baseball wasn't very good and funny, I guess. McGregor took the mound in full suit and launched a 20-foot wide ball into the backstop. However, it also resembled that McGregor has no purpose of throwing at the home plate. His game plan seemed to be to take the baseball and throw it as much as possible without considering its accuracy, which was so really expected of Conor. So that was all for today's video. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit like and subscribe to our channel. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.